invite my cousin, Kerry Fannon, to come up and say a few words. She and her brother, I think, talked a little bit. Her brother, Kevin Milligan, who wanted to be with us, was not able to join us. So, welcome, Kerry.
I'm also known as Kerry Gilligan. I'm the daughter of George and Mary. And my brother is Kevin Gilligan. Some of you know him. He's was in business and traveling on vacation in Europe, and he's there right now. He calls almost every day asking how things are progressing for the celebration. And he has some memories he wanted to share. And they're really memories that we both have. And we were just so blessed to have such a wonderful family decide to move to Ann Arbor. I think when Kathy and Basil made that decision, it was one of the best things that ever happened to us. Because it's just wonderful growing up with relatives nearby. And my Uncle Basil and Kathy are pretty special. And China was a great kind of sister to grow up with. And often they would take us along on a family vacation. And we might go to Middleville and visit, and I'd come along or keep Shauna company on vacation. We had some really great memories. So there are just a few like growing up kind of stories we wanted to share with you. And one thing was just really fabulous. Uncle Basil and Kathy really knew how to relate to children, and they really made, it was just so fun to go over to their house. They only lived like about 5 minutes away. And so my brother, Kevin, was remembering sleeping over and Uncle Basil making just delicious pancakes, sometimes with blueberries, and serving them to us the next morning. We all sat at the counter and enjoyed that high stools. And every year, we'd go over in the autumn, in their backyard, they got these tremendous oak trees. And Uncle Basil and Kathy, they just love nature and saving the oak trees in their neighborhood. They're probably one of the few people in the neighborhood who actually have them in their backyard. But they would produce so many acorns that, there were so many to pick up. So Uncle Basil would make it fun. And said, hey, how would you like to, earn a penny for every 10 acorns? And we were like, yeah, let's go do that. It was like a treasure hunt. So we'd get a paper bag and run around and pick them all up and show them to him and count them out. And so that was a lot of fun. And he made it fun. And then eating at Baskin Robbins. Ice cream really runs dearly in our family, even with my husband Chris here. And so just having Baskin Robbins mint chocolate chip ice cream and chocolate cake from Bill Knapp's. If anybody remembers Bill Knapp's, and Bill Knapp's in Ann Arbor, and boy, we still miss Bill Knapp's, but that was a tradition, having chocolate cake at Bill Knapp's with Uncle Basil and Kathy, and with our family. And bowling. Did you know he was a bowler? He bowled, and we used to go to Colonial Lanes, which I think is still there in Ann Arbor, and he showed us how to do the three-step bowling approach. And so on a rainy day, he's like, you want to go bowling? We're like, yeah, let's go. So we'd run out and go bowling, and that was a lot of fun. And then there are times when Sean and I, Kevin, used to ride horses. We got very interested in horseback riding. And so it even carried over to when we weren't doing it. We were like real little. And so we'd set up these little jumps in the front yard at Ravenwood. And who would put up with us? But he did. And Kathy, we'd go in the garage, we'd get little pails out and set them up, about so high. And then we'd get a broomstick and a rake, and we'd just run around, just jumping on these jumps. And they didn't laugh at us, they probably chuckled, but it was a lot of fun, and he made it fun. So he was like a great uncle to play with. And even things like coming over and picking me up to go horseback riding after school. He didn't have to, but he drove from his house to my house. And then we stopped by Aunt Kathy's house and Uncle Basil's house, and we went out riding. And he was always driving people around. And as I was mentioned, picking up at airports and so forth. So, but one thing he had in common with our family, my brother Kevin grew up playing junior Wolverines. He ended up going to University of Michigan. He was a walk-on, and he was very fortunate that that year he was able to go to the Rose Bowl with U of M. And he and Uncle Basil and my dad and Uncle Rex, they were always such big Michigan fans. And he just loved talking to Uncle Basil. And be at dinner anytime. It was like, what do you think about the new recruits? What do you think about this or that? How's it going? And it was just a really special bond that my brother had with him. So in conclusion, and just verbatim from my brother, and I share the same sentiments, Uncle Basil is greatly missed. He was one of the most kind, generous, humble people I have ever known. The only reason we could not attend Uncle Basil's life celebration is because they'd already committed to a vacation and business right now in Italy. But today and all times, there is no other nephew or niece who more loves and misses our uncle. And we're just so thankful that, again, that we had the benefit of growing up in Ann Arbor together. And so those are fun memories. There are many more, and I'll give other people to share.